All right, everybody, welcome back to the Conserving Freedom Network. Just wanted to do a quick little Tuesday night talk. I think it's going to be a new segment that we're doing. Just talking about, some of the things that went through my brain as I got into the firearms world and some of the considerations I made as I bought new firearms and thought about some new accessories. Pretty off the cuff topics here. Not going to do too much prepping, just kind of want to riff on, honest feedback, maybe a couple of perspectives that y'all haven't thought of before. And that's why I'm here for you guys. So, through my time in the shooting world, the gun ownership world, there are different considerations for the gear that we choose, the way we set up our guns, and I think it's going to make for a fun topic, Tuesday night talk. So let's try it. This first one is a really good one for me. It is going to be choosing between iron sights and a red dot on pistols. Okay, so my first pistol, safe and clear here, safe and clear. My first pistol was a SIG P320, and this was the M18 version, or is the M18 version. It was my first gun my first handgun I ever bought, and it did not have the red dot on it to start. This is the Leupold Delta Point Pro, but this was my first handgun, started with iron sights. And I think that is really, really important. I think if you stop the video after this, just know, beginning pistol shooter, beginning handgun shooter, start with iron sights. We've all seen this gun on the channel, safe and clear. This is my 365. You'll notice this still has iron sights on it, and we'll get to why. So, learning a red dot, learning how to pick up a red dot is a skill in itself. To me, the ability to pick up irons, right, and get that front sight aligned with our rear sights is just easier, okay? I think it's an important skill to have. It's going to teach you how to shoot with both eyes open, or, if you're going for accuracy from a long distance, maybe, how to find that with one eye closed. It's just for me, I think it was a better way to learn. Number one reason being, when you start with a red dot, I guarantee you are going to be fishing around for that red dot. Now, I've had plenty of reps with it, but right there, I'm fishing for my red dot, right? Just sitting down, it's not a natural position for me to go from the draw from. There we go, right? There it is. So for me, I can still mess up. I'm sitting down and I'm still kind of fishing for it, right? So I think that's a big issue for, getting into red dots. You're going to be fishing around for it. You're going to be messing with your grip. You're going to be messing your head height up, right? You're just not, when you drive it out, as soon as you don't see that red dot, you're going to panic. And you're going to manipulate the gun up or down. You're going to be jerking your head up and down. Your grip's going to go up and down, and you're forgetting a lot of the fundamentals of a good pistol draw, right? Which is center line, and we don't have to go into all the specifics of skill sets, but right, center line, right at my nose, bang, drive it out, and I'm on target, right? And I can get that red dot right there because I've gone through some reps. As soon as and I'll maybe shift this way, right? As soon as I drive this out and I don't see my red dot, I can start being finicky with the gun like this, moving my head around, and I'm really messing up my good fundamentals, right? Even if you're just off a little bit and you just start tilting that gun a little, that's not how you find your sight picture, right, on a pistol draw. We don't fish around. For me, when I first started learning, how to find my sights, it was easier for me, even if I closed one eye and got it started, right? I'll close one eye here and, novice shooter, back when I was a novice shooter, drive it out, and I'm at least on it. I'm not fidgeting around with the gun. And I was able to get a lot of good practice with my draw stroke, and I'm right back on it. So I think that's important. I think it's really important to learn with iron sights, because for me, the margin of error was a lot bigger, right? I could, first of all, I was able to find them quicker, right? What I mean by margin of error is I'm more likely early on in my shooting, my experience, not yours, my experience. It was easier for me, pardon me, to line up my front sight in between my rear sights. And that allowed me really good practice, really consistent repetitions, driving that gun out, center line, going through all my good fundamentals and getting squared away on my fundamentals. When I was ready to introduce, a red dot into, one of my handguns, I felt confident that I was able to present and have a pretty good idea, right? Without having to fish around. So good presentation. I've got my red dot. Now I've got it through a lot of reps, but I think that is a really important point. You buy your first handgun, you want to trick it out with all the stuff. That's great. Maybe start with a weapons light. Maybe start with a mounted light, under the barrel and a pick rail or something. Start with iron sights. Your fundamentals are going to get better faster with iron sights. Now, there's a ton of pros, and we're not going to get into the pros and cons of irons versus red dots. This is just a new shooter. Should I buy my handgun and at the same time grab a red dot, throw it on, and never look at iron sights? I would say no, okay? I would say we train with our irons first. When we feel proficient in that draw stroke, in that presentation, we can put the red dot on and relearn that. But the worst thing to do is, as you're learning those fundamentals, is to be fishing around for that red dot, moving your head, manipulating, your hands left and right off of center line, trying to find that red dot. So for me, as a new shooter, getting into handguns, start with your iron sights. I am happy to hear what y'all have to say in the comment section. Totally cool to disagree with me. It's all good. That's why we're here. We're here to learn. I just want to give you my experience as a, relatively new shooter, couple of years into the game, working through a lot of things, studying up on a lot of things, going to the range, practicing with purpose. This is what, I found through my experience. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's hear what you got to say in the comment section. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Conserving Freedom Network. We will see you next time.